And we're live. What
All
is up?
right.
Yeah,
Hey, everybody.
killer.
All
I'm
right.
excited.
Well, hello, and welcome everyone to another edition of Live on IFT. Trip, this is our 22nd episode, and today we're going to be talking about location service on IFT and
22.
location automation.
I heard that's
Yeah,
a lucky number. I don't know.
I think there's a Taylor Swift song, maybe. I'm feeling 22. I'm like that.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, so everybody, again, my name is Ben. I'm going to be your host today. Joining me, as always, your other host, my colleague and best friend, Tripp. Tripp, do
Yep.
you have any announcements for the folks back home?
Yeah. So first off, I wanted to say, what's up, Jim? Glad you're here. Also, what's up, Westlake? Glad to see you guys again. Um, I did want to promote our student discount. So it's a 90% off discount for students if you're in the US, UK, or Canada. You have to use your .edu email address. It's a huge discount. And we just want students to be more productive in their when they're taking notes. If they're trying to exercise, there's a lot of like productivity hacks you can do with IFT. Second, be on the lookout for a natural language AI applet maker in the Create system. All right. Some of you already have access to that. Just start playing around with it. If you run into bugs, let us know. I think it's going to be a really cool way to create applets for new users that don't necessarily know the if this then that system. So yeah, just try playing around with it and let us know what you think.
Very cool. Tripp, you
Yeah.
feeling okay today? You sound like you got a little bit of a cold in your voice.
Dude, the pollen is destroying me. If anyone else out there lives
Oh,
in the
yeah.
South, like I have a white truck and it's completely yellow right now.
Yeah.
Like
I remember those days. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you're from South Carolina. Yeah. So Grace
Hmm.
wanted me to clean off the front porch the other day, and I'm literally just like swimming in a cloud of pollen dust, and it's been sticking with
Oh,
me.
man. You got
So
to get your COVID mask back out
I
when you go
know.
outside.
Yeah, no, I completely
Yeah.
agree. So anyone
Well,
in the comments from the South dealing with the same problem?
yeah. Um, I've got
As we
a,
talk about
I've got a,
locations, you know?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, let us know where you're chiming in from today. So I actually have an announcement before we get to our agenda as well. It's a little bit of
Mhm.
a premature announcement though. So, Trip, I'm actually attempting to put together an if swag store,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know if you noticed, but I'm actually
Oh,
wearing
wait, let's get a little
my
close up on that.
my if polo,
You gotta blend
right?
into the background, but dude, I think it looks
I
great.
yeah, yep,
Dude,
I'm
you're a
camouflaged for
full
sure.
button guy, you know?
I do go to the top. Yep.
Yeah. It looks very professional. I
But
love it.
thank you. Yeah. So um, I'm trying to get this store. But we've got a kind of a demo store together. We're working with a third party company on putting together an if swag store, and I think my goal, two things that I want to get out of this when it finally goes live is one, I want to build something where we can have proceeds that will go to maybe a charity or something like that. So
Mhm.
I'm really excited for that as well. I love the idea of being able to give away swag along with Pro Plus accounts, of course, but giving away swag on these weekly live streams.
Let's go.
So my first prompt of the day, if you could let us know in the chat, what are your thoughts on if swag? What would you like? Maybe would you be cool? What do you think about maybe a pen with if on it? Maybe
Mhm.
a dog bowl with if on it? A water bottle? Um, a maybe like an iPad or excuse me, what are these called? Earbuds case with
Mhm.
if on it. Let us know what you'd like. T-shirt, jacket. What would be
Dude,
interesting to you, and
personally,
what would you
I
actually use?
I would love a black dad cap with simple if logo on the front.
Yeah, no,
You know what
they've
I'm talking about?
got so one of the early versions of this project has like a trucker hat. I
Okay,
know you
cool.
love a good trucker hat,
I
with the
think
net
I
in the
can rock
back.
a trucker, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I enough said about the store, but please do let us know what your thoughts are and maybe what you like to see or what you like to have with the if logo on it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
speaking
move on.
Speaking of
Go ahead.
location, I shouted out Pollen, and we've got Ontario, Canada out there with
Okay.
the problem that a bunch of people from the South, especially Texas, woof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
What's up,
yeah,
Joel? Yeah. Sweatshirts and
I
hats,
remember
Joel.
the Pollens. There you go.
Cool.
All right. So real quickly for our agenda today. So we're going to be talking about the location service on IFT. We're going to do a
Hmm.
location service overview. Then we're going to take, in the spirit of location, we're going to visit a friend in Melbourne, Australia. This is going to be basically an introduction to another member of our community team, Dan. But I don't want to give away too much about that. So we're gonna meet a member of our team at some point, and then Tripp. It's been around for maybe a year or so, maybe a little bit longer than that actually. But we're going to talk about the group location service on IFT. It's not new, but it's new to a lot of you.
Yeah.
We're going to Tripp. I believe you're going to build an applet using the group location
Yeah.
as well.
Yep.
Okay, very cool. Um, and of course, we're going to take questions and comments throughout the entire live stream. We're going to pop up as many of those as we can on the screen. We're going to address as many of those as we can. And weekly giveaway. This week, I am going to give away two, one towards the middle and one towards the end. We're going to give away 2 free years of IF Pro Plus. So make sure you're engaged with us in the chat so that we can find you and give you a Pro Plus to one lucky person. So
Yep.
yeah, our 2 lucky people, and maybe we'll go crazy. Maybe we'll give away 3. Who knows? All right,
Cool.
so that's the agenda.
Hey, real quick, I want to. Hey, Bob, I saw that you used the group location. If you don't mind commenting, what do you use the group location for? Just personal. I'm curious. We'll walk through that later in the live stream, but just throw that in the chat. Also, Joel, vinyl wrap Tesla from the If Swag store. I'm not
Whoa,
against it.
okay.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't drive a Tesla, but I wouldn't mind like a pair of shoes with an IF logo, like some
Okay.
Converse All Stars would be
Let's go.
cool. I
That's
think
a
I
good
might be
idea.
alone in that one,
Yeah.
but yeah, that would be
Good.
my weird thing that I would want. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool. Well, anyway, so again, we're talking about the location service on IFT. We're going to get to the group location service in a little bit, but bare bones, we have this location service that's been a part of IFT probably towards the beginning of IFT. So it's been around for more than a decade, and there are 3 basic triggers for this service. One is fires when you enter a location. One fires when you leave a location, and one fires when you enter or exit a location.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about who uses the location service on it. So I pulled these numbers earlier this week. There are nearly 6.8 million people that use
That's a
the
lot of
location
people.
service on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And I've got kind of a breakdown of percentages of the top services that are paired to the location service. So coming in at number 1, roughly 1.27% of the 6.8 million, roughly 1.8 million people have paired their Android device with the location service.
Yeah.
And the reason, or I think the most common thing here is that for Android users that have the Android device service on it has a basically a silence or a
You
silent
can
mode
mute your
on,
phone.
silent mode
Yeah.
off. You can mute your phone, right?
Yep.
So a lot of people will use this, right? So it's like when I am in the location of my office, right?
Mute my phone.
Turn my phone off,
Yeah.
right? Mute my phone. You don't even have to worry about it. I
Oh,
muted
totally.
my phone. I remember to mute my phone before we started this call. And it's
Nice.
just something that I always
That
have.
was a
This is an
manual
annoying thing that
task
I
you
always
kind of
have to
had to
do.
do, but with if you can kind of
Yeah,
automate it. I think this was one of my very
absolutely.
first automations back in like 2013. It was kind
Yep.
of in that onboarding. I was like, that's a great automation. I'll turn that one on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Shout out Android
yeah,
users in the chat. I can't
yeah.
use iOS. I know Ben's an iOS guy, but I pick up. My wife has an Apple phone, and I just don't know how to use it. It's like a weird, like different language in there.
Yeah, your team Android. That's
I'm
right.
green. I'm
That's
a
right.
green bubble. Yeah.
Every time I think you're like a cool guy, I remember that you use Android. I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
Then you
I'm
text me and
kidding.
it's like, oh,
I'm
green
kidding.
bubble. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
okay. So let's move on to the next one. Oh, wait, did I go too far? Nope. All right.
Oh,
Okay.
there
So
you
coming
are.
in at number 2, notifications. So people getting notifications if they enter an area or if a loved one enters an area. I know this maybe seems like a very simplistic automation, but
Mhm.
I think about Trip. We both have 1-year-old, 2-year-old boys,
Yep.
and I think about when my son is in high school or old enough to drive a car and have a cell phone, and
Yeah.
he tells me one evening, "I'm going to the library to study."
Uh-huh.
Like, I better get a notification that his device has entered the library.
Entered the
You know what I mean?
library. Dude, he's gonna
Right.
figure that out soon and just like drive
So
past the library real quick.
drop it off. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like put it in the book drop. The book
Uh-huh.
return drop, and then yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I have 2 of these applets running right now personally. One is there's a co-working space. Westlake asked where we're located. I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee. There's a co-working space that I go to, and they need me to scan a QR code every time I'm there to like kind of log in and like open the door. And so whenever I'm within like it's like 100 yards of the co-working space, I'll get a notification with the QR code to my phone. So it's like I'm walking in, I pick up my phone, and the QR code's already there, and I just can scan it and walk in. So that was one way to use that notification tool. And then the other one, I have a 2-year-old and he's in daycare, and they always need me to log in to like a web URL and sign in that I've like dropped him off and picked him up. And so instead of like searching that URL or like keeping a tab open on my phone with that, I just get a notification with that URL already pulled up. So whenever I drop him off, I look at my phone, open the URL and sign in. So it's just like saving me that time of like manually looking up the QR code or manually looking up that URL. So yeah.
so I've got a couple, or I've had a couple location service applets throughout the past half a decade, and I think like a couple that I've really enjoyed. I have a Sonos device. Shout out
Mhm.
Sonos,
What
also
up?
connected to IF, and I've got an automation or had an automation at my last house where when I would come home, it's still running, I'd imagine, but I don't go there anymore. So, but when I come home, um, it would play music, right? I would basically have like entrance music or walk-in music every time I came home.
Nice.
And I had it set up for certain
It's like you're a
obviously.
WWE wrestler, you know?
Yeah, right. I had
So
my entrance music. So every time I would come home, it would play music on my Sonos.
oh, that's
And then
hilarious.
I had another one that would so we have a company on it called More Trees, and it's like
Mhm.
you can donate. It's like an Earth Day donation, donate
Yeah.
$1, plant a tree in one of these countries. And basically like so to offset my carbon footprint, what I would do is I had a location that was like would wrap around the city of San Francisco. So if
Uh-huh.
I left San Francisco, it was because I was in my car. So basically every time I
Oh,
drove my car outside of the city, I would plant a tree.
let's go.
Because I'm
Humble
pumping
brag.
carbon into the yeah, well,
Hashtag humble brag.
yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's a great idea. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna head to the next one here. All right, so
Wait, real
Google
quick,
Sheets
I did
coming in
wanna
at number
highlight
4.
this question.
Sure.
So, Suresh, does location work by GPS coordinates or Wi-Fi access points? So it's based on your phone. So you need the mobile app, either iPhone or Android, download on your phone, and the location access turned on. And also, if you want to do the notifications and turn notifications on for your phone as well for IFT. Um, but it's based on your GPS location of your mobile device. So wherever you go with your phone, you can automate different things. So like your office, the co-working space, the daycare, if you leave an area, you know? So yeah.
I'm
So
glad you answered that, Trip,
yep.
because I don't think I would have had a great answer for that one. Very cool. So, the coming in at number 4 is Google Sheets. And I think a lot of people use this one's like great for tracking like time
Mhm.
spent in certain areas, right? So like
Yep.
enter or exit the location of your gym, enter or exit the location of your office, enter or
Mhm.
exit the location of maybe say various job sites, right? So that you know how
Yeah.
to charge based on the hours that you spent at these particular places, right?
Mhm.
Um, perhaps time spent at the local watering hole, right? Hey, you're drinking too much. You were there for 8 hours last week, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Google Sheets, I'm
Mm.
sure there's a lot of different ways that people find this useful.
Yeah. Well, Bob
Clearly there's
Haggard, I wanted to highlight his use case with the group location.
Mhm.
So it sounds like Bob is a volunteer fire department. Shout out, Bob. Thanks for being there for us.
Very cool.
And we use it to track when members at the stations um, like come and go, right? So like if basically every volunteer fire person has if downloaded and they're part of the same group, so they're using group location, and whenever a user comes in and leaves, it gets tracked in a Google Sheet, it sounds like. He did just mention that he has some trouble with the timestamps on default in Google Sheets. Have you figured that out, Bob? If not, like, please send it to our help squad, and then they can probably figure out some like JavaScript coding that can maybe change how that timestamp is logged in Google Sheets. But hey, I love this use case. This is awesome. So basically, he's tracking man hours at a volunteer fire department because everyone has an IFT account and is using the group location. So that's awesome.
That's that's very cool. I know that when our coworker Kevin left, our coworker Kevin took a 1 year sabbatical from IFT to live out his childhood dream as a police officer.
Yeah.
He had the entire like police community or the entire I guess department set up with a bunch of IFT automation. So
Nice.
I haven't heard of a volunteer fire department using it.
That's
So that's really
cool.
cool. Really cool to hear that. All right, so let's go next to smart home. Okay,
Ooh.
so I Tripp, I'll just ask you, right? I don't want to get in trouble here, but do you use Philips Hue or LifeX
I
bulbs?
I I do not.
Okay,
I've worked with it for almost 2 years, and like our Philips Hue automation is one of the best, or just one of the most used. But I just have not
yeah.
been to Home Depot to pick up a couple Philips Hue light bulbs yet.
I don't know. It seems like Philips Hue just. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why they outperform. I mean, based on these numbers, they outperform LifeX. I'm Team LifeX all the
Oh,
way. I don't know
interesting.
why. I guess. Yeah, well, the thing with LifeX is that you've got like I don't mean to get off on a tangent here, but the thing with LifeX bulbs, if you've got a big house and you're
Mhm.
wanting to automate lights around your entire house, I think it's good to have a Philips Hue because they have like that Wi-Fi hub that really helps with reach.
Yep.
Um, but I think with LifeX, what's cool about it is that you don't need a hub, and because like the Wi-Fi connection technology is within the bulb itself. So
Mm,
yeah, I'd say I'm Team LifeX, but
that's cool.
I think there's a hefty majority of people that use Philips Hue. It
Philips
looks
Hue.
like,
I know.
yeah,
Maybe they just have better marketing.
yeah. I
Who
don't know.
knows?
All right. So I think the most impressive thing to me here is there are roughly 136,000 people that have Ecobee thermostats, and they're potentially using the IF location service to turn their heating and cooling systems off when they leave their home. And so, yeah, I just like 136,000 people that are, bettering their or doing one thing they're doing is they're helping their power bill, right?
Oh, totally.
But
Yeah.
they're helping they're serving the environment, right? By
Yeah.
not running stuff while they're not home.
Yeah.
I assume
And
that's how
so,
people are using this,
yeah, like
right?
one example would be like if I leave my house, set my air conditioning to a higher temperature so I'm not, trying
Yeah.
to make it
Yep.
colder than it needs to be, like in the summer, and then also in the winter, set it to a lower temperature so I'm not trying to make it hotter than it needs to be, you know? but when I get home, turn it to the temperature I want it to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
Those
Tripp,
are,
have you ever been to the state of Iowa?
have I ever been to the state of Iowa? I think I've driven through it.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of, I think
Okay.
there's a lot of, cornfields and cow fields, right?
Do you know, in the spirit of locations, do you know what the second largest city in Iowa is?
I know the capital is Des Moines. That's
Des
it.
Moines. Okay, no, I think that is also the biggest city. The second
Okay.
largest city in Iowa is called Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll give you one guess. Can you guess the population of Cedar Rapids?
Uh, it is, uh, I don't know, 100,000 people.
It's 136,000, the
Wow.
same number of people that are using Ecobee with location on IFT.
All right, let's go. So there's
Yeah,
a
right.
city in Iowa that is also all automating their
It's
home
cool to
thermostats.
think of it that way, but not no, that's but I will say this,
The greenest
Ecobee
city in
so
Iowa.
Ecobee is just one thermostat on IFT. So
Mhm.
you think about this, right? There are maybe a dozen or more thermostats on IFT that are potentially using this same type of automation. So
Oh, it looks like we lost Ben. I'm gonna let him pop back up in here.
um,
Get back.
did we lose you,
And
Trip?
oh, we either lost you or you lost me.
We
I don't
lost
know.
me. Okay.
We're all back now.
All right.
Yep.
Well, very cool. Well, let's move on to our pal Dan and just introduce Dan and talk about what Dan's up to.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna.
So so for anyone that has used our community support in the past, there's a good chance that you spoke with Dan.
Mhm.
Dan, short for Daniel Hart. So Dan is on the sticking. So Daniel Hart is on the community team. He's located out of Melbourne, Australia. He's worked with IF for about 3 years, and it's funny because he's from Melbourne, Australia, but in that time that he's been on our community team, he's lived in like I think 4 or 5 different countries. Like he's
Oh
just
yeah.
kind of like
I
a
think he was in
nomad,
Bali whenever
a
I first met
vagrant,
him.
or
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so he's been all over the world. He's a traveler, and he right now is taking a 6 month sabbatical to walk the length of Australia. And he's doing this, one, because he's crazy. No, I'm just kidding. But he's doing this to raise awareness and money for universal basic income.
Let's go.
So yeah, so he's about 3 weeks in. He's got a like a link tree or link in bio account where
Mhm.
he's got all of his different, you can donate here, and then you get all of his different like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And he's been doing this for 3 weeks, and he's got over 5,000 followers on TikTok already.
That is awesome.
So yeah,
I'm
right.
excited.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah.
should we
So
show one of those TikToks?
I want to show the TikToks, but what I want to do, so each of these TikToks are a minute long. So if you
Uh-huh.
will, Trip, if you'll switch over to your screen, because mine's my sound wouldn't work for this earlier, and I know
Yep.
yours does. So we could switch to your screen, and we're going to show both of these videos, the top one first, and then the second one. And they're each a minute long. So what I want everyone to do is during these 2 minutes, I want everyone to type in the chat, and we're gonna give away a free year of IFPRO Plus. But I want everyone to type in the chat where it is that they're joining us from
Mhm.
today. And based on your answers, I'm not going to tell you the rule because I don't want people cheating or lying. But based on where you are, someone is going to win a free year of Pro Plus once we get done with these videos.
Let's
So
go.
Trip, if you'll take it away and press play.
All right.
So today's going to be a rest day. Got a mate meeting me in Bucking. So I thought I'd go over a few more details about the walk, why I'm doing it, basic income, and UBI. So I'm walking the length of mainland Australia from the southernmost point down in Wilson's Prom all the way up to the top of Cape York. So it's going to be about 4,500 kilometres in total. It should take me about 6 months. Now I'm doing the walk to raise awareness about basic income and to hopefully help UBI grow. So basic income is regular, unconditional payments that are meant to cover an individual's basic needs. Basic Income Australia advocates for about $500 per week for every Australian adult. And UBI is a non-profit that I helped start that's crowdfunding basic income. So basically what they do is they raise money, and then at the end of each month they distribute it evenly among all their users. Which right now are about 150 homeless, disabled and orphaned people throughout Vietnam, Laos and Cambodia. So the walk itself is self-funded. But if you would like to show financial support, consider donating to UBI. And with a bit of help, we're hoping to expand to Thailand this month, so anything you can give would be really appreciated.
All
Wow, that was
right.
cool. Let me try and
Can we go? Can we do the next one? I picked the next video. I picked that one because it shows he talks about what he's doing and why he's doing it. But if we could show the other one, Tripp, that talks about, or I think it's just the video that he blew up on, or that he had like the
Okay.
most views. It was like over 250,000 likes or views or something like that. So
Yep.
and it shows
I've got
just
it.
different places he's going.
I've got it loaded up. Let me turn it on.
This is a pretty good spot, but I just realized there's been a security
Can you hear it?
pointed directly at me all night.
So we're on the East Gippsland Rail Trail today. It's about 40 k's to Orbost, but probably won't get quite that far. Maybe try and do about 30. About 10 k's down, have a quick snack. We're about 30 k's down, probably got an hour of sunlight left, so we'll try and do another 5 to New Morella. Nice nutritious dinner. All set up, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right. How cool is that, Tripp?
Yeah, dude, that is really sweet.
Right? Yeah.
Even just like walking for 6 months, like that's gonna do a lot just from mental health perspective.
I get
like,
some
yeah,
Forrest Gump vibes, right?
Totally Forrest Gump. Yeah. Dude, it might even get cold. I know it's getting winter there down in Australia. So yeah, that's wild. Wait, so
actually I was just going to say, I actually interviewed Daniel a couple days ago, and I think on a future live stream, we're going to take a clip from that and show that as well. But cool. Right now he is, if you look at this map here, he's basically made it to, and I've got that, he's got that purple live map over the top of it, but he's basically made it to like the border of Victoria. And I think that area is called New South Wales, maybe. So he's like he's right there, right? He's right there at the border entering into New South Wales.
That's impressive. Yeah. That's awesome. He's only been doing this for 3 weeks.
I think it's 3 to 4 weeks, maybe something like that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Well, we've got a lot of people chiming in for where they're calling in from.
Yes.
Do you want to check them out? So we got Caesar.
I do. Do we have everybody? Does it seem like most everyone's put in their location?
Yeah,
what I want to do is I want to say, so San Francisco is the home of where IF started. So I want to find the person, and we might need someone to help us with this, but I want to find the person that is the farthest from San Francisco.
Oh.
And I want to give that person a free year of IF Pro Plus.
Yep. All right. So we've got Ocala.
If it's not easy,
Florida.
We can come back to it.
We have someone from London. Oh, we got Kennesaw, Georgia. What's up, Edward? You're like 2 hours from me. I'm in Chattanooga. If you're ever up here, hit me up. We've got Bracknell, UK. I'd say there's a Saskatchewan, Canada, but that's kind of on the western coast, right? Saskatoon.
Yeah, that's going to be closer. I think the folks in London and England is going to be the winners thus far.
So we've got a London, England, and a Bracknell, UK. So,
okay, someone that knows where Bracknell is, can they tell us who's farther? And if you can look it up real quick.
Oh, hip. Oh, so Bracknell's on the western side of London.
Okay, so London wins then.
Yep. Let me just share. I'm gonna.
Right. I guess if we went the other way around the world, I guess Bracknell would win from
Yeah,
San
you're right.
Francisco.
Oh, wait, yeah. Who knows on the Bracknell? I still think the quickest way to get there would be directly across the US.
I think what we'll do this time, just because I feel like it, I think we should just give both of our folks here a free year of Pro Plus.
Let's go. Our
How does that
UK
work?
audience. I say go for it.
Yes, both folks from UK. If you would send us an email, I believe it's on the next slide, but if you would send us an email at marketingif.com sometime after this live stream, and we'll get you hooked up with a free year of Pro Plus.
Let's go. Go for it.
That's the best way to do it, I think.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Our UK audience.
Very cool.
It's also kind of late for them. Now.
It's Friday. I know.
It's Friday. This is probably out of work. So thanks for even hanging out with us, dude.
Yeah, I don't do anything on Fridays anymore, but I can tell you I wouldn't be watching a live stream about 5 years ago.
Also, UK audience, I don't know if you are soccer fans, but Leeds are playing today. We got to win today. I don't know.
Yeah, and Tottenham's playing on Sunday.
Nice.
London Derby.
The London
All right, cool.
Derby.
Well, let's move on to our group location.
Cool.
And Tripp, you're gonna give us all a breakdown of the group location service and how to set up an applet.
Yep. I'm moving around over here. Perfect. All right.
Boom.
So what we're seeing here, we released group location back in the fall, I believe. And it allows you to automate your smart devices or just like Google Sheets and stuff, like the firefighters are doing it with a group, right? So I knew there used to be a tool called Life 360 on IFT, like way back in the day, that a lot of people use, kind of did the same thing, but now you can do it like with IFT. So we have a lot of iRobot users will use group location. So instead of like just turning on your iRobot when I leave the house, but my wife's still home with a baby, right? She doesn't want to hear that vacuum running. So whenever all of the family members are gone at the same time, run the vacuum, or turn on the security system when everyone's left the house, or turn off the lights when everyone's left the house, and like vice versa. So it helps if you have a family, right? And the cool part is only one person needs to be an IFT Pro or Pro Plus user. So like everyone else in the group can all use free accounts. All they have to do is download IFT and then give you their email that they've downloaded IFT for. And then it'll just track their location. So I'm assuming
they have to have they have to have the app, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Because it follows, the location of your phone. Hey, what's up, Al? Yeah, Patrick Banford. Dude, he's crushing. I think he just got the most goals this last game for Leeds in a while.
Oh, we're talking soccer.
Yeah, he's shouting out.
Great.
Yeah. He's getting old though. I wish him all the best though. That's awesome. All right, so let's create a quick. I just want to show everyone how this works. So if I connect it, you might not be able to see this same screen. So I'm going to do test Ben and Tripp. And let's say, so I have my IFT account. I'm the manager. I'm creating the group. I want to add Ben Terrell's. Send him emails, guys. I want to add him as my group member, right? So if we ever are like in the same place or leave the same place, we can turn on some devices or turn them off. So I'm going to invite him. I'm creating the group, right? So now I've got my group. I can look in here and manage it. So I can add or cancel invites of people or add more like users right here. So if I go we lost both of us again. All right, we're back.
We got to get some new Wi-Fi.
Okay, so I know. All right, so group location. I click this. So we have all these different triggers, right? So any member exits an area. The first member exits an area. It makes it like super customizable. And then, so like, yeah, even if I'm a volunteer fire department, let's say the first person shows up for job that day, and then the last person leaves, you can kind of like log both of those numbers and then create timetables off of that in Google Sheets. I'd be curious how that works when a fire happens and you need to, everyone leaves for a second and then comes back on. Maybe you are still just kind of built that in there. That'd be curious. But yeah, so let's say here we are. Any member enters or exits an area, right? So the default is always what's it called? San Francisco. And then you can create a trigger. But then if you like give them your location, it'll just show where you're located. Say then that. So let's say add something to Google Sheets. So I'm going to say add a row to a spreadsheet. Got to connect this one.
You can also like, well, like, okay, if it's that easy to connect.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
quick.
yeah. So the spreadsheet name is like Ben and Tripp and left an area, right? Because that's our trigger. And then it will pull whichever user is that actually left the area, and then it'll say the event type, so left an area, and then radius of wherever you're located. So
you could really
you
like
kind of,
you could really collect some valuable data here. Like if you have an office or a company and you're like want to just keep track of, you know, you could replace timestamps with something like this, right? Like,
oh, totally.
you know,
Yeah.
or not, maybe
Like-
not replace it, but like this could be a first step towards, hey, when do people show up at the office every day, right? Or when do they leave? That kind of thing, you know?
Oh, for
Are
sure.
they lying
Yeah.
about their time card, you know?
Yeah, you can be like a local doctor's office, you know, or and then now you're tracking like when your people are coming and going. Yeah, it's just a great way. And then they don't have to personally log in, you know, like unless someone's like bringing their phone manually over to the office and then leaving it there for 8 hours, right? So, yeah. But yeah, so that's basically how you can create a quick applet. I know Bob mentioned that it triggers again when we already know the fire and dispatch reporting of the times of the station of return. So that's really cool. That's a really cool use case internally for group location. Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, Tripp, I think we're getting close to time. Do we want to give away a final winner?
Yeah.
I've got someone in mind.
We've gotten it from Mike Walton from Bracknell, UK, and then we got Al from London. Let's go. Yeah, who do you have in mind?
I say we go with our firefighter. Is that Bob? Is Bob our firefighter?
I'm down. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Bob.
Let's give one to Bob.
Congrats.
Very cool.
You just got a year of Pro Plus. Shout out for having a really cool use case. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Thanks for sharing that. Bob, if you would just send us an email at marketing@if.com and we'll get you taken care of.
Let's go. Well, guys, this has been super fun. Yeah. I'm going to follow Dan on TikTok so I can watch him walk across the entire
go follow
Australia. Yeah.
It's really cool. I asked him, I said, hey, are you going to come back to IFT when you're done? He goes, I don't know, mate. I don't know, mate. He said, if I blow up on TikTok, he said, I might
just keep walking.
I might just stick with it.
Yeah. That is definitely Forrest Gump. That's Forrest Gump vibes.
Yeah.
Till he's tired.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, this has been fun. Yeah, stick around. I know not this upcoming week, but in 2 weeks, we're interviewing the CEO of JotForm. So anyone in here are big Typeform, Google Forms, JotForm users. The CEO of JotForm wrote a book around automation. So I think that's gonna be a really cool conversation, just learning like, you know, what are the basic concepts to like automating every single point of your business and then also life. So
yeah,
be on the lookout for that.
Jotform's so it's funny because he's a thought leader, the CEO of Jotform. He's a thought
Mhm.
leader on automation, and
Yep.
not only that, they have this thing, and I've actually gone and done it. You can create your very own like mobile app using their software,
Uh-huh. Yep.
and it's obviously there's other softwares that you can do that with, but you can like I mean I created an app that I was able to share with people and have them log in and use, and it took me like 15 minutes. So there's just like some
Cool.
really cool stuff that's going on with Jotform, and I'm really excited to talk to them.
Yep. Well, also, so Bob, Al, and Mike Walton, if y'all want to just email us at marketing@ift, addressed to either Ben or me, then we'll hook you guys up for that free Pro Plus for the next year. If you already have Pro Plus, we'll just extend it so you get a free year on us. Cool. Well, this has been great, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend.
All right. Adios. Hope Leeds win today. Let's go.